All right, and we are live. Welcome in, guys. Today it is December the 18th. It's Wednesday. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All those things all rolled into one. Hope you've gotten all your shopping done. I have not done all of the shopping. Most of it happens to fall this year on my wife. I think she's got us covered. I hope you get all the carbon plated racers that you're wishing and hoping for this holiday. There's not a lot of releases close to Christmas, I guess. Everyone's gearing up to next year. Anyway, hope you had a pleasant and delicious, delectable, exciting run as well today. So I want to talk about um, the direction of the channel and why this channel exists. I also talked about it on Saturdays, but we're going to get after that. If anyone cares to join us, I know when Kafuzi opened up the Kafuzi Run Club live stream, it was kind of hard to find his channel for a while. So I know we did have many guests, maybe 30, 40 per live stream before in the other channel. Now this one's here and it's hard to find, and I keep changing the name. I'm sorry, guys. I just called it Midlife Runner Live for right now. On the Saturday stream, I said, please put your name for this live stream in the box right here. Please let me know good names for it. And there were some good names like Runners Anonymous. That's the title that's on the thumbnail right now. I really like that one because the idea is that these live streams will eventually be taken over by all of the people in them, and they're just a bunch of runners, and then they're talking about running topics, running shoes, whatever that is. I also happen to be here. I'm a moderator. I'll probably make some jokes, but the discussion is led more by you guys than it is by me. That's the idea. So one day it may be like, how was your run today? And then we never talk about anything else because we just talk about today's run. For example, to my run today, since you asked, but you didn't ask, but you're not here. So you know what? I'm going to decide to do whatever I want to do right now. Um, I had 12 by 1 minute hard, and I'm calling it the Cole Hawker. Okay, that's what I put on the Strava, the Hawker, because it's just a little sexier and it's more impressive when you call it the Cole Hawker. And it went pretty well. 12 times one, this mile pace. If you couldn't tell, because Cole Hawker won the 15, or he won the, was it 1500 or the mile? I should know this. It wasn't the 1500, it was the mile. So I didn't fade at the end. Actually, last one was a fast one. So that's why I didn't call it the Ingebrigtsen. Golly, it's rude. I shouldn't do that. I should not throw shade on the fastest miler in the world because he's at least 3 times faster than me. So anyway, it was a very, very fun run. I'm enjoying all the workouts that I do. I'm coached by Matt Fox. Most of you know this if you're already here. And he prescribes the workouts in all of the running by time. And I really enjoy that because it's not by, I've traditionally done like 12 by 400s, 16 by 400s, the Yasso 800s. And when you're running those, like say I'm running an 800, I can pace myself all right with it. I'm 400 in and I've got 400 to go. I can hold this. I'm like counting down the distance, or like I can, if I'm running a 400 at the 200 mark, I can look at my watch if I know what pace I'm supposed to be running to see if I'm on pace. So that's good because you can work on that effort and that pacing. But by effort, depending on, you just run. That's it. You just run hard, and then it beeps at me, my watch, because I programmed it into my watch, and then I just stop running, and then it beeps at me again, and then I start running again, and then it beeps, and then I walk, and then it beeps, and I run. And it does tell me like how many meters I've covered, but I don't even know what that means. Oh, I covered 320 meters. I don't, 314 meters. Okay, well, that rep was a little slower than the last one, but I mean, I'm just running hard. So I'm getting married to the effort. It's a monogamous relationship. We're not looking at pace. We're not looking any other way other than effort. So it was a good time. So I hope your run today is going well. Actually, I hope your run sucks. I hope it's terrible. I hope that it's miserable, it's cold, it's snow, it's like -6 degrees and it's windy and you're not enjoying it and you have to push through. I hope you're getting a real good character builder. So this is like on race day, you've got these all stored away and stashed in to your spirit and your soul. These are the things that will make you a better runner later. Yeah, but don't quit. I mean, I just hope you're like on the verge of it and you're just like, this guy needs to shut up. I cannot. I don't know about you, but that's the way I get. Like when my run gets uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, I can't listen to any more podcasts. I can't listen to any more YouTube videos. I need music or I need nothing to just go. So, and by the way, I'm not training for a mile. I've I've run all out mile maybe 3 times in the almost 5 years I've been running. 4 years I've been running, and I'm just training for speed again. The need for speed. So doing a lot like hill sprints every other week. Doing some mile pace, a little bit of threshold. And I talked to coach and I said, hey, listen, because we're running Boston later. As I get closer and we do these big marathon blocks, I always feel like I lose a little bit of the edge as I get closer. So I told him, I was like, you know what? We're gonna do the long runs. Gotta do the long runs. We'll have the endurance piece there. But I don't want to do marathon pace work. I want to do fast work during the week and on the weekend if there's a long run with some speed in there, maybe a little faster than marathon pace. I want to keep the foot down. I want to what's a good cliche? I hate cliches. Pedal to the metal. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Anyway, why am I doing all of this complicated bullshit by having another channel when I already have a channel and there's not even a whole lot of people over there? Well, I've got to explain this to you because for the same reason Kafuzi did what he did, right? Like, so in the YouTube world, in the sphere of the YouTube, you make a video, you post it, it goes out to your subscribers. They watch it. It actually just, if you, it's not just the subscribers because you're subscribed to plenty of channels that you don't watch anymore, and YouTube does not suggest their videos to you. If you've watched YouTube, if you've watched that particular channel, if you've watched that person's video recently, it will suggest that. So if you've watched one of my videos, it will suggest more of my content. If you hit like, if you comment, it will suggest my video, even if I don't post frequently. So I don't watch a ton of Believe in the Run, but if I watch the drop every Friday, then every Friday when I sign into YouTube, it's going to throw me the drop, the podcast that Believe in the Run does, because it knows that I normally watch it. If I watch Joanna every day, it's going to suggest Joanna's video because it knows that I watch it. Case in point, I came out with a video on Sunday and it was how long does it take to get your fitness back? Because I've been running for a month and recording every day, and I put a montage with a little catchy jingle underneath it. And then I gave some spoken word, some slam poetry, cringy slam poetry in the middle of it. And it took me a while. And I was worried. Like, it's like, okay, so I put in all this effort for this video. It comes out on Sunday. It goes to the subscribers and it goes through its regular protocol of its shelf life, if you will. And then after like 2 days, or sometimes it's after 9 hours or one day, sometimes after a month, suddenly the algorithm catches it and it gets wind behind its sail and it just goes to people who are not subscribed to the channel. And there it goes. And I can tell because then like I get a bunch of new subscribers and then that's kind of how it works. However, if I decide to do a live stream, it comes out because when the next video comes out, and then it shuts the other one down a little bit, it stifles it. It's like, this isn't the latest and the greatest that this guy has. This is the latest and the greatest, but it's not. I mean, it's just a live stream, and people don't, they're not like, well, let me check out this live stream. It's a lot less people check those out. So it stifles my regular content. So I've got to put it somewhere else. Similarly, when someone makes a community post like I did, then if you're subscribed to the channel and you don't watch them, it doesn't matter. My community post is going in here. If you're subscribed to the channel and you don't watch me, if I make a community post, now you see it. So anytime I make a community post, anytime I do a live stream, it makes an auto post. I lose subscribers because they're like, oh, that guy. I watched like 4 of his videos 3 years ago. I don't know why I'm subscribed to his channel, and I will unsubscribe. So that's how it works. It's the same with YouTube Shorts. I've never made shorts. That's wrong. I've made like 3 of them, like jokey ones, but I don't watch shorts. I don't know anybody who watches YouTube Shorts. I know people who watch Reels on Instagram. I know people who are on TikTok, but I don't know anyone who makes YouTube Shorts. So I thought, well, I have this other channel, and I'll just do the live streams there, and then over time, we'll get people in here, and then they'll all talk to each other about running stuff, and then running shoes, and then whatever. And I can make shorts if I want to make shorts, because shorts do the same thing where they stifle your other content. So we don't want that. And that's why we started this channel, even though it means that no one's going to be in here for a while. It's going to be me talking to myself, and then everybody else is going to be like later, but not live. And I do see that people are watching it later. So I'm going to continue to do this. If nobody watches it, then I'm not going to do this, because what's the point? All right. So there's that. Yeah. So then the name. I said, what's the name? People said, why don't you just do Midlife Stream? No, Midlife Runner Live. So then people would know, okay, that's a channel, and it would be on brand. Corey said mid at best. I love that. It just looks a little weird when you type it out if you're like searching for it. And then Runners Anonymous. That was my favorite one, but that one was already taken, so I can't do Runners Anonymous. But I really like creating a safe space for it. Now, if you didn't catch the Saturday live stream, I talked about how I want them all to have segments, mostly centered around running shoes, but it could be anything. And I think a very beneficial and helpful segment, once people get into here, is like a running sale or running bargain segment, especially if we go global, because I know like Ed Budd makes the best bargain deals of the month. And I used to watch him, but I can't because it makes me sad, because he'll be like, yeah, you can get Nike Alpha Fly ones for like $30. Yeah, you got to be a UK resident. You gotta live overseas, and I don't. So I just get sad because I'm like, I can't get those deals. Ioana used to do a weekly bargain deal every Friday, and that was nice. We checked those out. Now, I have a problem, and if you're watching this and you're this far down the YouTube rabbit hole of running, where you're subscribed to my channel or even watching this channel, you also probably have a problem buying running shoes. So I don't know if it's a good idea to have a segment where we're like, you can get, guys, check it out. You can get the Nike Zoom Fly 6 on the Nike website. I just for like 123, 127, something like that. Super cheap. I mean, cheaper. I think it retails at 170 or 180 in that Super Trainer price point. But there's a code, there's a discount code. I'm sure you can Google it. You can find it. I thought it expired after the day I did it. Then somebody else hopped in there, and the day later, and was like, no, it's still active. And then I watched Kafuzi's long run category of top 5 long run shoes today, and I made a comment about, whatever, and then how I'm going to be transitioning from using last year's super shoes to actually using some of those super trainers and long run shoes, like the Zoom Fly that I got for 123 or 127. Some guy commented and was like, "Hey, thanks. The sale still works. The discount still works." So I want to create a segment where everyone's like, "Hey, like Fit to Run had the Deviate Nitro 2 for $60. That's a great shoe for $60. And there's a slew, a certifiable plethora of people like myself who are primarily bargain buyers who are like, yeah, I know that I'm not going to get the Pegasus Premium after the initial set of reviews. I'm going to wait till it goes on sale. Could be a Super Blast deal where it never goes on sale, but I'm going to wait on it. I'm not going to spend $210 on that shoe. I want to run in it, but I'm mostly a bargain buyer, so I'm gonna wait to get the sale on that one. And then speaking to that point on the long run shoe, I am going to run this year less in carbon races. So my long run, especially if it had marathon pace in it, I just used a retired racer that like the Adios Pro 3 that I'm not going to race in, or like a suboptimal. If I felt like the Indo Pro 4 wasn't a marathon shoe, but like more of a super trainer, I would use that. I guess in the way Thomas from Believe in the Run described the Hoka Cielo X1, that's like as a shoe to train in, but not to race in. Like that's what I use. But there's the Hoka Mach X 1, 2, or now this year the 3. There's the Zoom Fly 6. Now I'm going to try to run them in those shoes versus just race shoes because I have too many. Stevie76 is in here. What's up, Stevie? It says Fit to Run is tax free. On tax free weekend, it is indeed. But no, I think I paid tax on those. I do believe. I do believe it. I do believe. I don't know what that was. All right. So I wrote down a bunch of topics. So I'm just going to pick one out of the hat. Well, I guess maybe we should cover. Oh, you know what? I'm all over the place. I do have this. I do have a package. And I know what it is because I don't order. It's not shoes. Okay. It's not shoes. So I don't buy a lot of I don't buy racing singlets. I don't buy the only expensive, because they're expensive, racing singlets, racing shorts, all of the high-end things. I only do it to support other people in the running community. Like I have a singlet from Path Projects because I love Floris Gearman. He's awesome. So it's like that's his company. I'm gonna buy Path Projects. I'll race in a Kafuzi Run Club singlet. Stevie76 says, is it lingerie? Lingerie, yeah. It's supposed to be a secret. It's running lingerie. All right. So speaking of which, if you can't see this at home because you're listening, or if you're running later but not live on a terrible run, let me tell you, it's a Kafuzi Run Club singlet. It's the rabbit. It's the black edition. It came in for the holidays. Sick. You can see through it. It's so light. I have the white one. The white one, you definitely can see right through it. When I don't even have to be nipping. You just sweat in it and see it. So I'm gonna wear this for Boston. I got some black shorts, little 1-inch shorts, 3-inch shorts, whatever they are. So I'm gonna go all black. We're gonna go hard in Boston. That's gonna be the fit. Just Jared's in here. What's up, Jared? Said Mike Chafin that. Well, that's the plan, just to get some good memories out of some core memories built in, like a run I'll never forget, and I've got the scores to prove it. So, case in point, Kafuzi Run Club. You buy the stuff, support. I mean, it's a very quality rabbit singlet, so it's okay. I could use that to race in it, but it's also like supporting the running community. So there we go. I do have two other shoes coming in, guys, and this is the point. Okay, this is why I wanted to make the topic of today, Runners Anonymous, is like I have a problem. Hi, my name is Andrew, and I have a problem. I'm a shoeholic, runnerholic. I don't know, whatever. I'm a runner with a shoe problem. So I started writing it down. I was like, I made this statement a month ago. I am not buying as many shoes in 2025, and technically it's still 2024, but the holiday purchases, so Fit to Run, got those Deviate Nitro 2s for $60. They still may be there. On Cloud Eclipse, a video I just did, a 5-on-5 that not many people watched, that got released today because the shoe came out so long ago and everyone already knows about the On Cloud Eclipse. So they're like, okay, I already know the shoe and I know it's nothing to write home about. So why am I going to watch you tell me here's a shoe that I already know? By the way, my kindergartner, that's like all he says. I already know that. I already know that. I already knew that. When did you figure that out? Oh, when I was born, I already knew that. I already knew that. I was like, okay, I'll just quit talking. So the On Cloud Eclipse, $90, and that video came out today. Just a shoe, guys, because you're not going to watch it. I'm going to give you the cliff notes. I'll give you the. I don't know if Spark Notes or Cliff Notes are still a thing. But it's like the short summary. If it was a sentence, why don't I go ahead and make a YouTube short on it for this channel? And I'll be like, hey guys, here's the On Cloud Eclipse. It's just a shoe. It's the Brendan Fraser. Is this his name? Brendan Fraser? Encino Man. It's of running shoes. It's the Hollywood pick. It's for everybody. If there was a beginning runner in there, we'd say like, hey, run in this shoe. It's stable. It's got a nice little rocker. The upper fits nice. It's good. It's good shoe. It's just a shoe though. It's not worth $180. I got it for 90. And I suppose I need a shoe that I'm just going to put on and run in. That's just a shoe, but I like my shoes to be like something, right? Just give me a little something, little softness, a little touch, a little touch. Give me some speed, just a little pep. Just give me that little boost. Something, the On Cloud Eclipse. It ain't it. It's not the move. Anyway, so I got that, and I'm gonna run on it because I have it. That's the way I roll. And that's why I have too many shoes and I got a problem. We'll get to it. Got the Rocket X2, $60. We talked about that last time. And on Saturday, I told you the outsole is miserable. And somebody, like, I was doing floors lava in the Rocket X2, is living by a moment here with you. It was not great. And somebody commented and they said, the Hoka Skyward X and the Flow have terrible outsoles altogether. So it made me think maybe Hoka needs a little bit of improvement in their outsole game. I don't know. I'm not a big Hoka guy. I'm trying to return to Hoka a little bit. So All Heart RC's in here says, yo, it was hard to find the stream. Oh man. I was worried about that a little bit. MK. And it was hard for me to find the stream when Kafuzi switched, and he had over 100,000 subscribers at the time. So I think it is going to take a little while to find this thing, but we're just going to let it roll and rip for a while. And then the later but not live views was over 400 for Saturday. So like, if there's enough people getting approval or benefit from it, then we'll keep doing it. It says the post disappeared. That's interesting. That's so weird. All right. Stevie76 says Duke alum can certainly or can definitely find this stream. Indeed. Indeed. All right. So my problem continues. Those were 3 shoes that I bought on discount. Then I won the lottery from Adidas and the Evo SL. I got the opportunity to purchase it, and I did because I've wanted to try the shoe, and it arrives today. I think I might have even gotten a notification that it just came in. So I'm gonna run in it on Friday. First run, I'll probably film it. I'm trying to film all my runs now. So there's that. Then the Zoom Fly 6, like I just told you, there's that sale on the Zoom Fly 6. I bought it 127. And then there was a refurbished pair. I don't know if that's still a word. I'm sure it's still a word, but I don't know if it's appropriate for shoes. Could be a damaged or defective New Balance SC Elite V4 for 140. I had to pay the tax, so it was like 150. Then they came in, and then I remembered, like, oh, New Balance, I have to half size up. So now I have a pair of shoes that are non-refundable that are half size too short. So I got in the marketplace and I listed all the shoes that I'm going to sell. I got to pay for all of these shoes with shoes that I already have that I'm going to sell. And I've got and I sold a couple, but I have some still available. The Alpha Fly 3, it's like 50 something miles for 125. By the way, if anybody wants these, slide into those DMs, preferably just nosedive in there. Cannonball, however you want to do it, as long as you end up in the DMs, will be great. The SE Elite V4, for 150, because it's what I mean. They look brand new and they have a tag on it. Anyway, but that's for like 8.5. If you wear an 8.5, then I would suggest that, because for the 9, it's too small. Anyway, I gotta sell some of those shoes, guys. So help me on my journey. All right. So let's see. Did you guys go for a run today? Now we got some people in here. So tell me how was the run this morning? All Heart RC is in here. He says, are you going to do more workout videos? Yes. So I'm going to take the All Heart RC approach. And what I'm doing right now is I took the camera for how long does it take to come back or recover, get your fitness back. So I took the camera every run, just filmed a little bit so I could do the montage. Now I'm doing a video which is like a 2-week block of running speed work under Coach Fox. And so some of those days are going to be easy runs, and so they're a mixed bag. I'm still taking the camera and I'm filming. And so I'm going to cover the workouts as well. The problem is this morning I did the miler workout, the Cole Hawker, and it's 5 in the morning. And the sun's not up, but I got my GoPro. And I could film a little bit in the car, but then I'm like when I'm parked at the track, open this, don't worry, Stevie 76, I'm not driving with the camera. Then I parked, I opened the door, the lights come on, you could see the lights, but then it's like dad in the car ranting stuff, like not a great time. Does not make, not very cinematic, not great for the YouTube. Then I did try to film to see if I could get a little bit of the street light to see whatever, but not ideal. And then after I did the sun's barely coming up as I'm finishing my run, try to film. So some of those, it's not going to really work. My middle child has an electric scooter that grandma got him, and that thing can go up to 15 miles an hour. And I don't think I run that fast. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's going to follow me around with the GoPro, and he's going to do his best Cole impersonation and or MK and try to catch his dad on some of those runs. Just Jared's in here. He says, about to hop on the assault runner for an 8-mile easy run. Oh yeah, the assault runner. That's nice. Got a good flow to it. I've got a gently used treadmill, and it my wife she got it for me as a present one year, and I told her, like, "I don't like it, but I will run on it when there's thunderstorms, because 'cause I'll be safe, but rain's not gonna make me melt, and I need to run in it when I get into those conditions, and I like to run when it's cold, and the garage isn't much cooler when it's hot outside than it is when it's already outside, so I don't run in it a lot. I think she would want me to run in. A salt runner would be a little bit more motivating for me to do it, but we'll see. And then you guys know how I feel about the bike, but we got one of those Peloton options, cheaper options, one of those more economically efficient Pelotons coming in. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hop in some classes. I'm going to do this thing. And maybe that will distract me enough to where I can appreciate the bike. It's not my backyard. It's not my home base. It's not what we do. Stevie76 says Matt Choi branded scooter. Indeed. Yes. I used the discount code from his channel, and we got 10% off. And so I'm under the influence. By the way, guys, I'm taking a coach on a course, MK certification time. Okay, we've been heavily involved in deep diving into the coaching for quite a while now, but I just can't mention it anywhere because then right now it's very fashionable to shit on people who have YouTube channels or are on social media who also coach. Granted, maybe the people who get dumped on don't have certifications or really care about coaching as much or lack the qualifications. But there's so many runners in this world, and it kind of aligns with what I want to do. Anyway, secrets out of the bag, I guess. But that's coming in January and next year. It's only level one. It's nothing crazy. So, guys, Mizuno reached out after TRE, and it does look like I'm going to get my hands on the Wave Rebellion Pro 3, and I could not be even more excited about it because I'm one of like the 9 people who love the Wave Rebellion Pro 2. That is a killer shoe. It is so good. And so I'm very interested in running in that. You're also going to send the Zen when the Zen is available, and I'm excited to run into for that as well. Yeah, MK, I'll have to call you for some notes. MK, all hard icy says, good for you. Stevie76, certified pole dancing coach. Yes. But just beginner pole. It's not intermediate. So there's certain moves that I will not be able to speak to necessarily. But you know, uh, the final verdict on the on shoe, by the way, I think the on cloud eclipse is going to keep me away from on for a little bit. They have the racer, the spray painted one that people seem to really like, and they say it's bouncy and it's good. But I'm just like good for on. It's like when a shoe comes out and it's not good at all. And then the next 5 iterations of that shoe, everyone just keeps saying it's better than the last one, right? Like Boston 10 sucks, Boston 11 sucks, but it's a little better than the 10. Boston 12, hey, better than the 11. It's like, yeah, but is it any good? I don't know. So like that's the Cloud Tech phase. That's the on Cloud Eclipse. That's their new technology, and it was okay, but it wasn't anything to write home about. So I think I'm gonna pass for a while. Panos is in here. What's up, Panos? He says, "Nice. Do you go size half up in the Mizunos?" I do. All Mizunos. The only one I didn't was the Wave Rider 28, and I could have stood to go up a half size. They do fit a little bit short on those. Let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, after today, when I'm done with this, we'll have to cut it maybe 5 minutes short. I'm going to do an interview. The interviews are back. So today I'm sitting down with a guy named Ryan Miller. He's a 2:14 marathoner. I'm not sure I've had a really fast guy like legit, like a fast runner on the channel. And I was thinking about this too. Side tangent, it's just known to happen on these things. When it comes to running by effort, I traditionally stayed away from running by effort because I don't. It's kind of like I know the three main efforts. Okay, sprint's got to be 10 out of 10. 5K pace is hard. We just do 9 out of 10. And then like comfortably hard's 8. It's 8 out of 10. Like I could do those things, but like even in the easy run is like nothing more than a 4 out of 10. Like I mean, I'll keep it conversational, and I think I know what easy is, but I don't know if I'm going to be like, ooh, 4.5. Oh, a little too fast. And then I started trying to locate all of the other points. So if 10 out of 10 is a sprint, 9 out of 10 is 5K pace, then 9.5 is mile pace. And I think I can do that. I think I can do that for sure. Yeah, that's there. But then there are people like Matt Fox and probably the guy I'm talking to, Ryan Miller, who run miles in the low fours. They know what 800-meter pace is. And that's by default got to be a 9.75. And I will never know what it feels like to run at a 9.75. It's going to be a sprint and or 9.5. I think that's it. I don't have that gear yet. And I'm not sure I will ever have that gear. But that would be it. And then 8.5 would be a notch above threshold. And all last year I was saying spicy threshold without realizing how cringy it was. I'm done with spicy, guys. Spicy's over. It's done. It's not like 10 years ago. People were saying, I remember the first time this guy hit me with fire. Oh, those tacos are fire, fam. I was like, what? They're literally on fire. Oh, that's cute. And then that took off. And then it's one thing to be cringy and say, like, I got a cake for one of my coworkers who was younger, and I got candles, and it's like literally lit, fam, and then I lit the candles. Like I know when being cringy, but like the unaware cringe, that's the worst. That's when it's just like, who does that? Nick Bester, he's the spicy king, spice king. Anyway, we're retired from spicy, man. We're staying off of that. I guess so. I guess spicy threshold is really 10K pace. We'll just call it 10K pace. All Heart RC says, "Oh, good, you do great interviews." Yeah, thanks, MK. Especially with coaches. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of coaches. Ryan Miller is 214 guy, but he's also he's local, and he's got a running group, running community called Maverick Running Community. He's a literal local legend. Just wherever he runs, automatically local legend. Qualified for the Olympic trials there in 2016 and 2020. So I want to pick his brain, but then also ask him about coaching, how he gets people faster. I just love to ask people that question. So the SWE runners in here, I'm late again. Well, better late than never. I'm glad you made it through all the bullsh, the YouTube bullsh, sifting through endless channels to find us. Hopefully, the more time goes by and people check these out later and we get more subscribers and more people watching, then these Wednesday, Saturday live streams will take off a little bit more. So Sweet Runner says, yeah, I did a lactate threshold test in the lab 2 months ago and had to guess my effort level, and I was way off from what it actually was. Felt harder than it should have been. Yeah, I will say one of the things I do like about running by effort is that the conditions may change and it's already accounted for. Oh, well, it's really hot outside. Okay, well, I'll give this effort. And if the 80-degree heat and the 95% humidity is slowing me down, okay, cool. I'm not like married to a pace. I feel bad if I don't hit it because it's like, whatever, I'm out here surviving. So Well, we'll see. And I did sit with Chris Sag, so I think I mentioned on Saturday. Stepanik. I never said his name right the first time. Stepanik, Chris Stepanik. But Sagasu running. So and friend of the channel, Jen Piazza, she's an editor. She's like legit editor in New York City. She's helping me out. She's doing some editing for us. So we're gonna be firing away on these interviews. All Heart RC says interview ran to Japan. I should reach out to that guy, and it's in the future for sure where he lives, and see if he'll come back to the past and give us some. His channel is really great. Stevie76 says midlife emulates Phil Donahue's interview style. I'm not sure what that means, Stevie. I mean, I know a Phil Donahue, but I'd never watched him or Sally Jesse or Jerry Springer. There were some fights that I saw, but all right. All Heart RC says he is awesome. He's all about spice running. Oh, is he say spicy? I did see his video, the Ran to Japan, about his kamikaze style. And for a marathon, that is absolutely insane. I can see doing that for a 5K or a 10K and just trying to hold on. But like for a marathon, that's inviting a lot of suffering. So very impressive and just amazing. So I'll certainly reach out because I don't care about getting rejected. So I mean, I grew up short. Permanently last picked. Always got a chip on the shoulder. We're doing underdog stuff here. Okay. You know how hard I cried during Rudy in the 8th grade when I watched that movie? That was my life, man. I never felt so seen or heard. I didn't want to go to Notre Dame. I went to UT. So, but I mean, the little guy thing anyway, I really always related to. So there's that. So yeah, I've got what's on the slate. I'm gonna do another shoe rotation video because I have a problem, and because I've gotten so many shoes, my rotation has flipped. And I think by filming every day and bringing the camera with me, I'm gonna inevitably talk about all the shoes. So like if you don't if you watch these, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I've seen this video. He already said that. He told that joke before. Well, whatever. And it's likely that I recorded it a few weeks ago and then I'm here and I'm like, oh, that I'm saying the same joke twice, and that's never good, guys. I said it in the video today. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's funny. Then I say it again. Never, never should explain it. Never should have to say it twice. If somebody didn't hear it because I didn't articulate or enunciate the joke, it's gone. Quit trying to make fetch happen. It's just not going to happen. MCNZ's in here, says Short King. Yeah. I always joked my whole life in elementary school, middle school. I got in trouble a lot of times, class clown stuff. The teacher would say, was it Alice in Wonderland? Yeah, I think it's the one where they shrink. I get them all confused. She's like, imagine being 6 inches off the ground. And I was like, I don't have to. And everyone laughs. And they get an N in conduct. Not great. And I'll get little Debbie snacks when I come home because I can't stop making jokes, impulse control, all those things. So in high school, I high-fived a lot of people and made a lot of jokes. And sad story coming up, incoming. I asked the hottest girl in high school. It was like, I tend to go for it. I'm a risk taker, just naturally. So like me overtraining isn't like a huge surprise for the Marine Corps Marathon. So I was like, I need to know if the hottest girl will go with me to prom. So I asked her. She might have been a foot taller than me. I don't say like a foot. I didn't break 5 foot till like ninth or 10th grade. I was like prepubescent, short. It was short, 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 short. Like girls were putting me on layaway in 8th grade. They were like putting their number down and then they're like, call me in like 5 years. Then some of them actually followed up like 2 years later. They called me like sophomore year. Like, how tall are you? That's how they led the conversation on the phone. How tall are you? Still short. And I'm about to hit an awkward phase with the snaggle tooth. You might want to check back in with me in another decade. Anyway, so I asked the hottest girl. I asked her, to prom. She said, yeah, because I approached her in a way. I said, how could I do this? I could pretend to be nervous because I'm actually really nervous, and then I'll do it. And you know what? She thought I was joking. Then I go tell everybody, hey, the hottest girl in the school is taking your boy midlife runner to the prom. I'm taking her to prom. Yeah. No one believed me. But then I was like, no, legit. And then she had to call me like, I don't know, a few days later, a week later. She's like, hey, I already told this guy Jacob I was going with him, and I thought you were joking. I was like, wow. Wow. All right. That tracks. And then they gave me the Whitty Award, the superlative. So interesting fact there. Everyone always say, and I tell people sometimes too, especially if they're on the spectrum and they're very literal. It's like, listen, the first thing that's going to come out of my mouth is usually a joke. The second thing that's going to come out of my mouth is usually a follow-up joke to the first joke. Unless I'm in a business environment and I have to take things seriously. So I gotta indicate, I gotta tell people. The sweet runner is sitting here. He says, if I'm doing my first marathon over in the US, which one should I look for? First marathon. I guess it'd have to be the best one, right? Chicago Marathon. That one is just so supportive, and the weather's mostly usually always good, and it's a world major, and it's such a fun course, and it's flat and fast. But you don't have to go fast. First marathon. I think if I were going to do my first marathon again, I would not race it. I would run it. I would respect the distance. I totally disrespected the distance my first one. MCNC says, another live where I tell you to get the Zoom Fly 6 will make you 42 millimeters taller. Well, it is in the mail, my man, and it shows up tomorrow. And we're going to take it for the long run. I got a 100-minute, something very specific, long run. Yeah, 1 hour and 40 minutes on the weekend. Because in the shoe review rotation that I wrote already about the shoes that are currently in my rotation, I X'd out my gym rotation, my gym shoe rotation. I had 2 shoes for that, and I replaced it with a new category called the long run category. And wouldn't you know it, today Kafuzi has his category of long run. So great minds think alike, but I'm going to slide in there later, and everyone's going to be like, in my head anyway, oh, this guy, he took that and now he's adopting the long run category. Same thing when I did do the hardest thing. I came out with that video in like 2 days before it released, and I spent so long doing it. It's like 5 minutes. Casey Neistat had one that said, do hard things. Granted, Do Hard Things is a book by Steve Magnus. I mean, the idea is out there, but it's like, it was Casey Neistat's video in regards to his sub 3 marathon. And I was like, oh, okay. Now it's going to look like I just come out with this other thing because they did this thing or whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. CV76 is hot girl story alert. Yeah. It's okay. I married the best one. So it's all good. She's much younger than me. So like, little did I know, I shouldn't have just been even bothering with girls through high school or college. But Melinda's in here. She says, ouch. Yeah, it's okay. But like I said, I've been handling rejection my whole life pretty well. Then I got into movies and it's like acting and writing. And all it is just like daily rejection. You just get rejected all the time. And then the only exception was my neighborhood friends, because when you're little, you have to catch the ball. You have no other choice. You can't miss the shot. And the clutchness factor is really not something you know about somebody until you're in it and it's down to the wire. Like you need the shot, the Vince Young effect, whatever you want to call it. Like Jordan, got to hit the shot, you got it. So if my neighborhood friends were at school in class with me, I would be the first pick because I have clutchness. And it's like, this guy doesn't drop the ball, right? Because they know. Scored the most goals in soccer, like had to perform, had to kick it, right? Outside of that, last pick, always last pick. So the chip on the shoulder thing, stays with you or whatever else. But like rejection, it doesn't matter. I'm too old. It doesn't. There's a comedian. I'm not going to remember his name. He's a funny guy. Anyway, he had a Netflix special. It's not super well known. He's not like one of those big name guys. But he was saying, I don't know how much time I have left. And people are like, oh, check out this jam band, whatever. And he's like, I already got the Grateful Dead. And I don't know how much time I have left. So he's probably like 50, he's just like, I don't know. I don't have time for new bands, I don't have time for new stuff. And so I'm too old to care for most things. And I don't know how much time I have left. So technically I'm supposed to have the other half. If I'm midlife runner, there's a whole nother half there. But, Stevie 76 is in here. He says, haven't gotten over it. Yeah, no. When I met my wife, got over all things, over all of it. All Heart RC is in here. He says Boston. And that's the answer for the Sweet Runner, saying, if I'm doing my first marathon over in the US, which one should I look for? Look for Boston. Well, I can't speak to that, not till April when I run Boston. And I know me, guys, I love downhills and I'm surrounded by hills. I think the only thing that will save me is that I've heard it's really crowded at the beginning of Boston. So you can't necessarily just barrel down the hills like you would want to anyway, because you're just surrounded by people who are all the same speed as you. So it takes a while to get some separation. So I'm going to need to ease into that race anyway. So Matt Byers in here. He says, finally made it in. What's up, Matt? Dude, I ran in the Takumi Sen 10 today. That's a zesty little number. I do like it. To the Takumi Sen 8, which is one of my favorite shoes, and the Takumi Sen 10, and they look so similar. It doesn't feel like there must be like millimeters of difference. But the 10 feels wider or bigger. But then when I was hitting mile pace, it felt nimble and it felt light. It's a killer shoe. It's great. I've only got about close to 50 miles in it, but that's the good thing about 5K, 10K shoes. So I got 2 pairs of the Takumi Sen 8s and maybe 250 miles in between both pairs. So I just don't run a lot of like 5K stuff. So Andrew Chosen here. What's up, Andrew? Just joined in here. You're talking about rejection, something I'm very familiar with. Oh, Andrews unite. It's a sad story. Do you play the drums? Random question. I meet a lot of Andrews, and they're like, I play the drums. I'm like, I play the drums too. My dad played the drums. It's just a thing. Andrew's a very common name. So, yeah. I was thinking about it too. Ryan Miller, it's a guy I'm talking to right after this. There's something in my head saying, just don't call him Jeremy Miller the whole time. I don't watch a lot of Jeremy Miller, but I know he's like in my head somewhere. And I just don't want to call him Jeremy Miller at some point, because then, like, if Ryan Miller's really nice and he doesn't correct me, it would be like, my name's Ryan. Qualified for the Olympics a couple times, won some ultras, kind of a big deal. The other guy you're talking about has a podcast, and he's actually pretty fast. The Jeremy Miller for recreational runners, anyway. Stevie 76 says you should check out Marty McFly's band, the Pinheads. Yeah. Little Back to the Future reference. We're there. Matt Byer says, not much. Planning a workout in the new Takumi Sen 10 from the Supwell app. There's the drop tomorrow. 10 times 400, 10 times 200. If I have enough time to squeeze those 200s in. Awesome. Yeah, I think you're going to love them. We have a cold front coming in that's a little humid, 95% humidity the last couple days. So it's been the good thing about the running a minute hard, like it was like 300 meters. Yeah, the oxygen debt is not the thing that I need to worry about so much. So the Sweet Runner says, Boston looks awesome. I have run marathons, just run a sub 4 beginning of November. Well, congratulations. So if I'm coming from Sweden, it sounds like I have to look for the big ones, but go with some travel group. Yes, you got to do that. And then also don't stay in any hotels near the start line. You can find some Airbnbs and hotels. They say in Boston is not the smartest thing to do, but you can find some good. I know they do like travel groups too for that too. There's the matter of qualifying for Boston, which is another thing, but we'll see. I would say that if you want to come down to Texas, I mean, we have the Houston Marathon in January. And I'm not sure if you're short on time, so. All right. Matt Byer says, it'll be interesting to see how the 10s feel versus my 8s that I just retired at 337 miles. That's impressive. It's good to know they can go that far. So I've got a lot of mileage on the 8s. I think because the differences between the 8 and the 10 are so nuanced, I'm going to do the run testers deal where they kind of put one on each foot to see if like I'm just making it up in my head. It's just like I'm fabricating this, like I'm looking for differences and they're not there because they're the same. But it feels like the Takumi Sen 10 got 2024 and it just got more stable altogether all around. So, all right, guys, I am scheduled to talk to Ryan at 1 o'clock. So I want to be punctual. I'm glad all of you found me that found this live stream that we're able to make it today. So we will still do it Wednesday and Saturday at 12. If you can't make it, totally cool. It's the holidays. We obviously will not do it on Christmas. Probably will do it on the New Year. So no one's doing anything on New Year's that, day, 12 o'clock. So anyway, have a good run the rest of the week. And I will see you on Saturday for those who can make it. Cheers.